Hello, everyone, and welcome to City of Mist, the Reaper Soldiers. We are back again, and we actually have a new cast member. Definitely excited to have some new blood in here. So, what we're gonna basically hop back into is our current investigation. So, the last time that we were all here, you all decided to divide and conquer. Both William and Levi headed out to the Cocoa Gate, the coffee house in between the gated community and kind of a blue collar district, and spent most of the day there. You had attempted to work with the barista to get more information on who this Dominic, the dealer for the missing son, might be. It seemed like the barista was not all that interested in giving you information. And so you waited. You waited for the whole day, had a few drinks. Levi played some songs, tried to make some money. You did notice that the inspector, Pasco Vallone, was patrolling around. You had attempted to offer your assistance. It seems like he wasn't interested at all, which is not a regular. You looked like a school teacher and a homeless boy, so Inspector probably didn't have any reason to offer you any additional information. But as they were closing up, William, you decided to follow the barista. You cornered him into an alley and basically forced him to give you some information. He was able to identify who Dominic was, and it actually happened to be another gentleman you had seen at the coffee shop earlier in the day. A younger young man, kind of had an Italian look to him, wearing a suit. He had a satchel kind of over his shoulder. And you had seen him kind of sitting in the back side of the coffee shop for most of the day, kind of watching everyone as they came through, making eye contact, and in general, just confirming who everyone was. And then he was able to leave. And then you guys made your way kind of back home. Mike, on the other hand, headed out to Broadview Garden. He brought along Wendy the grocer, and they had themselves a little bit of a date. They kind of walked around a bit, looked at the beautiful scenery, the trees, the flowers, all of that. And as she left, Mike decided to do a bit more of investigation. He approached an older woman sitting on a bench. She seemed to be a bit strange, friendly, but also a bit off-putting. She had a very close connection, it seemed, to the birds, always feeding them. Her clothing kind of had a lot of bird mess on it. And it seemed like she had some information but wasn't willing to necessarily give it. And as Mike got up to walk away, he noticed that a few birds seemed to be following him. Luckily, he was able to escape the birds and re-enter the park, where he then helped a caretaker clear some ivy and in general just kind of kept an eye on things. He was specifically looking to find out if there were any suspicious characters that seemed to arrive, and for the most part, it was mostly families and businessmen kind of traveling to and fro. No, easy to identify drug dealers or anything of that sort. So that was a Wednesday. So as we all know, Wednesdays Mike doesn't have to work, and it seems that William was able to take the day off work. However, now that it is Thursday, would you guys be planning on meeting again on Thursday, or would you be postponing to continue the investigation the following weekend?
I'm I'm good for meeting the next day. It's okay. It's summer
Sounds good.
vacation. That's what I'm gonna call it. Everybody's out for summer because now it's hot.
All right. So you are now in summer vacation. All right. And how about you, Mike? What's your plan? Are you going to try to meet up with everyone early, or are you needing to complete your job? before moving.
Was it Wednesday? You said.
So this would now be Thursday. So Wednesday you
Thursday,
had the
okay.
day off, and now it's Thursday.
Yeah, no, I'd have to do my regular work, and then I'd have to show up after.
All right. So as you all were kind of ending your day on Wednesday, what was the plan? Basically, you provided information back and forth to each other. What would you two have decided? You would meet on Thursday. Would it be back at the pit? Were you going to go back to the Cocoa Gate, to the gardens?
Probably just at the pit to reorganize and the like.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So then let's as you guys kind of go about your day and your normal duties, let's meet Calvin. Calvin, it's Thursday morning. It's a bit rainy. Sky is overcast, and it's not pelting down rain. It's just kind of that consistent sprinkle, and every once in a while the wind blows through and it kind of just splatters on the back of your neck, but it's a minor annoyance. What would Calvin be up to on a Thursday morning? And go ahead and introduce your character.
Okay. What type of morning would it be?
You mean what time?
Yeah, what time of morning would it be?
You tell me. What time of morning would Calvin be out and about or awakened for the day?
Well, he might have got up early today, so I'm thinking maybe around 11 a.m.
Okay.
It's normally he's not up till closer to like noon or later, since he works rather late oftentimes, quote unquote works. He is a fairly refined looking. I don't see your camera, by the way. No. He's a fairly refined looking dark-skinned black man in like a fairly nice looking suit, slicked black hair. He walks around with a cane, but it's obvious that he doesn't need the cane. It's definitely a fashion statement of some kind. He seems to be fairly friendly to everyone he passes by on the street, often saying hello or, greeting children and helping old people across the street, and just generally a very, very friendly and helpful individual. And he would probably be going for his breakfast, maybe looking for a local coffee shop or something to get some sort of pastry for breakfast, that type of thing, something light. He probably had a few drinks the night before.
Does the Cheshire Hotel have any kind of on-site coffee bar? Or do you normally have to kind of head, out into downtown to one of the many coffee shops out there?
They probably have a nice bar, but I don't think they'd really do much for the actual breakfast. I think I'd have to go to my local favorite barista or something like that.
So is Calvin a coffee drinker, a chai tea drinker, an actual tea drinker? What's his?
I'm thinking a strong black coffee to help him sort of repair himself from whatever festivities he had the night before.
Okay. Yeah, so downtown, it's a bustling place. It's where everybody is either coming or going to, whether it's going to work, coming to one of the many shops that are down here. This is where the tallest buildings stand, great buildings of stone, glass intertwined within each other. And it's always moving. There's like a pulse down here of people just focused on their task and going. This one place, it's kind of in the corner of a building tucked away, and there's just one dark kind of oak wood door, and it's just called the Darkened Stone. And inside there, it's a single man that works, and all he does is he brews his own coffee. He has a resource, it seems, of getting access to beans, which he roasts himself. It's just one kind of bean, and all he does is he makes straight black coffee. Inside there, it's primarily construction workers, cab drivers, the typical running mill kind of men that just come in, pay their 2 pence for a drink, grab it and go. There's no sugar, there's no cream. You get your drink dark, and that's how you like it.
Perfect. yeah, I'll definitely just grab my drink and I'll go amongst the wandering unless I'm being contacted for something else. I'm just going amongst the wandering and looking for opportunities for the day.
Absolutely. Well, before you had left, you would have received a telegram in your room. It would have been awaiting as you opened your door. You didn't receive a knock. No one tried to announce their presence, but there was definitely a telegram laying in front of you. You recognize this type of telegram. The font was specific. The paper
Oh,
was specific. This was them, those that had summoned you once before. You haven't heard from them in probably a few weeks, a few months. You open the
damn it.
telegram, and inside it just says, "It is time." They have an address. It seems to lead you to what you would know to be the garbage yard. It says, "Look for the building," marked with the logo, and it has the logo of the Reaper soldiers on it. And it gives a
Okay.
time, which is fairly late at night, about 6 o'clock, so evening time. So you know you definitely have a few hours. And so what we want to do here, this is technically our downtime. And so City of Mist has a specific move in which you can kind of select what you're doing on your downtime, and then we can dive deeper into it if we want to. So if you go to your handouts, there should be a player moves option, and the move we're looking at now is montage downtime.
It's
Basically,
under cinematic. Yeah, cinematic.
that's correct. Yep. So it has a list. You can either be working on one of your logos. So giving attention, again, is the way of leveling up that aspect of your life. So it means you're working harder to get better at whatever that humanity, that logos aspect is. You can work the case. In this case, if you know some information about the case, which you might, you can definitely let me know what you know and work it as you see fit. If you have an aspect of your mythos that you're just trying to explore a bit deeper, get an understanding of what is this that's within me, you would just tell us how you're exploring it, and then you would gain a clue. A clue can then be asked as a question towards that mythos, and then I would provide you with whatever information I can. You can prepare for the next activity, in which this is where you can either recover from any of your burnt power tags, or you can gain 3 juice. Again, juice can be used for a variety of ways, whether it's creating statuses to hurt or help someone, creating story tags for different scenes, and again, depending on what you're trying to prepare for, that would be what you would spend your juice on. Or you can simply recover from your last activity. So, what would you be working on?
Well, I think it's it would be nice and hardworking of me to maybe do my job for a little while. So I'm going to just wander down the streets, seeing what people are interacting and whatnot, and seeing if I can find any maybe go from nice shop to nice shop and see if I can find any easy marks for maybe some sort of investment business today.
Absolutely. Give me an idea of what was your most recent investment before today.
Investments in a new line of informative books on a variety of engineering topics, brand new and exciting technology. And things that could really advance your business if only you were to invest into the basis of the books today.
And do you have a specific eye towards any kind of mark in particular? Is it an age? Is it what they're doing? A specific look that they have in their eyes? What would stand out to you?
Well, I think at this point, if it's investments in books on the helpful technologies and stuff like that, I'm probably looking for like maybe small business owners, people that have just enough money that maybe they've got some of the expendable income, but not so much that they'd actually be like maybe having fallen to this stuff before. So like moderate level business people.
All right, awesome. So what I'm going to have you do, go ahead and mark attention on that logos theme, since that's what we're going to do on downtime. We're actually going to kind of focus in on this introduction here. What we're going to do is have you investigate. So investigate is when you have a question that you want an answer to. So your question basically being, where's my mark? What is my mark? So what you can do is look through your power tags and figure out what kind of abilities or powers you would use to find the right mark. You can select up to 3. We don't have any statuses going on now, so you don't have to worry about doing anything like that. And the more power tags you use, the more questions you then get to ask. So for this one, because you would probably, if you have 3 powers you can use, you would then have 3 clues to spend to not only find a mark, but then maybe find out more information about them.
Okay. So I can suggest or I can ask to click 3 of them then?
That's correct. Yep. So any 3 you think would work, go ahead and let me know what they are in case I have any concerns.
So I'm thinking from my one ability, I'm thinking tricks of the mind. Just as I sort of subtly manipulate people, asking them about what levels of finances they have and sort of mold their minds, so to speak. Is that good? A good one? Okay. Then I'm also thinking of charming, because I'm trying to talk them into things, right? And then so in this point, charming would allow me to see, because I'm investigating, charming would allow me to get more information out of them. And sometimes you got to make money to get money, so I'll grease some palms as I get the information, so maybe throw money at the problem.
Okay, that sounds good. Go ahead and give it a roll.
That's under core moves. Oh yeah.
That's
and then so just hit investigate.
All right. So on an 8, it says you get all 3 clues in power. You can spend them 1-to-1 to ask me a question about the subject of your investigation. I must give you either a straight answer or a solid lead, and then I can choose to either expose you to danger because of your investigation. I can give you clues that are fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, part false. Or whatever you are asking a question can also ask you a question you must answer on the same terms. So you have 3 clues to spend. What would help you? What kind of question would you like to ask to determine your mark?
Okay, maybe is this just me looking for the mark, or is this like me sort of already narrowed someone down and I'm getting information from them?
I think this would be first narrowing. Yeah, you might have an idea of who you're looking for. So we're zooming in towards a specific mark. It might still be within a group. Maybe you have a few shops within mind that you might be interested in.
So the first clue I'd be looking for is out of these like local, like I'm looking for like the bottom tier businesses, the ones that aren't like really high up in the high rises, of course. So out of like that local group, who seems to be doing the best financially?
All right. So you see kind of a corner shop. Looking inside the windows, the shop just seems full of just about everything. It's very there's like buckets of walking canes and umbrellas and walking sticks, and you notice that they seem to be having a larger influence, or more people are bringing more in throughout the day. While they don't seem to have many customers, you do see that those that walk out seem to have very finely crafted walking canes with a gold or silver handle, brightly polished, umbrellas and parasols that are made of very fine quality, silks and other material that to be expensive. And it seems to be a place that is not concerned about finances. They seem to be willing to spend more. Again, the orders are coming in and they seem to already have everything that they might need. So they definitely seem to have some source of finance.
Okay.
And the name of it is called James Smith and Sons.
James Smith. Okay. Well, they seem to be doing fairly well. Profitable business like that may be good for wanting to invest in something. I'm in that case. So at this point, I have more clues that I'd be able to spend. Right? That's how that works.
Correct. Yeah. So you basically you have the ability to then ask those clues to dive deeper into this specific subject. So
Okay.
with clues, you have a source and a method. So the source would be basically your investigation of downtown, the shops within, and the people within. And then your method would have been, again, greasing palms, having conversations, and generally looking around. So any way that you can use that source and method to gain other clues or to ask other questions, you can do that. But again, it's limited in that fact. So chances are you won't have their specific financial details because, again, you probably didn't see that just by investigating the way you did.
No, I'm not seeing their ledgers or anything. Okay, so in that case, since I'm smooching with people and maybe greasing some palms and stuff, maybe I can get a general layout of how willing they are to justify their business ideas, so to speak. Whether they maybe start looking at other business ventures or whether they're just stuck making canes and nothing else.
Okay. Let's see. You do notice that there's one of the younger sons. Well, you would assume for him to be the son. He looks very familiar to the older man that's kind of back there. Throughout the few hours that you're spending around, he does seem to have a few gentlemen in suits that come through, provide a bit of some kind of paperwork, sign some sheets. They kind of have that banker lawyer kind of style and type to them.
Okay.
And then as you're kind of sitting there watching, you see him actually start to approach you, looking specifically at your cane. Kind of comes up, that's a mighty fine cane you have there. I see you be looking at our stock inside. Why don't you come in, take a closer look? You might have something you're looking for.
I'd appreciate that. Of course, I'll go inside.
Very well. My
You
name
seem
is
to have
John. What's
You
yours?
seem to have a mighty fine collection of canes. Mine's Calvin.
Calvin. Very nice to meet you. Yes. Well, you see, my grandpop, he started this place all 30 or so years ago, and well, we've been keeping it quite stocked. And as you look around, you see it's not, just walking sticks and umbrellas. They have, full-on staffs. There's a few golf clubs off to one side. And towards the back, you even see they have a variety of kind of weaponry. They have some maces, some kind of, tall axes. They look more vintage, kind of like older antiques, but they're all still polished and kind of gleaming up towards the back of the wall. So, as you can see, we have quite a bit of a selection. Of course, feel free to browse around, take a look at anything you might need. Just so you know, we do have a warranty on all of our items here. If you take it out and it has any issues for you, just bring it right back and we'll get it fixed and righted right for you.
Well, that's good to know. I was also around the area looking at. You see, I'm a bit of a well-made man myself, and I've been in the area looking for what I'd have to call promising people that I see potential in. And would you mind showing me around a bit more, just for me to get a little bit of a feeling for the store?
Oh, of course, and begins to kind of lead you around. You start to notice that towards the front of the shop, it's the generic items. You have your oak and maple style, staffs and walking sticks. But as you start to get back, you see the more almost foreign kind of styles. You have oriental, style etchings down the side. You even see quite a bit of ivory used, but it does seem to be hidden away kind of out of public view. You'd have to come back here and look for it. They have a selection of different kinds of knives that's within a glass case towards the back counter. And again, all of the parasols and everything seem to be made almost by hand. Towards the back, you can see that there is a bit of like a canvas that hangs down over a doorway, and you can hear the sound of sewing machines and everything. The sound of like saw and shaving down. It does sound like there's a few people that are working in the back room.
Who was I talking to again? I didn't type their name yet.
John.
Well, John, it seems that your store is sort of the type that's branched out after a while. Tell me, who was the genius that decided to, and I don't mean that sarcastically, it is actually quite brilliant. Who's the genius that decided to sort of diversify your store to offer more things?
That would be the grandpop. You see, at first it was just the walking sticks, and well, you seem to be a man that fancies one for yourself. There's not too many other men that have the need for it, and it does seem that the more wealthy folk they prefer to just ride around. There's not much walking around with them, so he decided, well, my grandma was a great seamstress. Why not try to do a bit of stitching? And she was actually able to find a way to hand stitch umbrellas using very intricate details. From there, I do believe he had some old friends that had some antiques that he was able to utilize. Some basic kind of war material, like these weapons here on the back. To be honest, if someone has an idea of some kind of instrument that can be used for general populace, not just limited to social class, we've always been interested to hear what it might be. That's where we got these knives, and he points down to all of the polished knives. And there's also the source of ivory here as well. Fairly rare, difficult to get, but still, few individuals have been interested in it.
Well, I can appreciate your quality, and I am, like I said, a man looking for the potential. And speaking to you, you definitely seem like you're one of the powerhouses of this business. You look like a man that can really make decisions, aren't you?
He kind of puffs up his chest and smiles. Well, it has to go through approval of the old man, but yes, I've taken a few of our contracts down before. He kind of looks over to a few, they almost look like tribal staffs. The big kind of round knob on the top, almost like a war staff, or whatever those are called. He points over those. Yes, those there I got from a friend all the way across the river, down in the dirtier parts of town, but he's able to make those himself. I was able to get quite a good deal on them, too.
You see that, obviously the best way, and I do see that you've got crafters here. Obviously, one of the best ways that you can do this is making your own goods and making the quality that people are expecting, which you do seem to have. What I've got, I think, might be good. We could sort of work as a partnership. I'd even be willing to maybe start smaller. What I've got is I've been communicating with people. Many people that are, shall we say, advanced, younger, like yourself, people that are willing to change the world. And they've given me, well, not given me, I've invested, of course, but I've invested into a collection of concepts and new materials and some of the more popular machinations that people will be interested, that are going to become quite fashionable over the next while. Unfortunately, I am myself am just sort of a mover of, like I said, potential. I don't have any storefronts or anything, so I need someone that I can work with that could probably work with me. We both stand to, I think, really benefit.
I see. Well, you've definitely chosen a prime location. He kind of beckons towards the window and the crowds of people moving by. Tell me a bit more, Calvin. What is it exactly you have?
Well, I've got, as I said, a collection of various blueprints materials. Now, I can't give them right away. I want to do this as sort of a temporary trial, because I don't want to give all of my secrets away. I no offense to you, you seem like a trustworthy fellow, but I've been screwed over way too many times. I got to be a bit more paranoid. You probably understand. but I've got some materials. If you're willing to invest a little bit, that I could bring over, and maybe we could try some things here. I can give you some more examples, and if you're willing to invest a bit here, I can actually, well, sort of front you a larger amount than you're actually investing for. Because, like I said, I'm looking around and I'm pretty impressed with the way that this place is.
And these items, you feel that they would actually fit within the marketplace and the customers that we tend to have in here. We do have a few kind of the unique lookers, but for the most part, we're kind of pass by, it looks interesting, come in and take a look kind of place.
Oh yes, of course, because like you said, the world of the canes and all of those things seem to be going away as people are using their various carriages and whatnot. What I've got is very much the similar type of thing. A lot of these materials and specifically the designs, some of them are already pretty pre-built, so you don't even have to worry about that. Help to deck out things like the carriages and whatnot. It's almost like, the world of canes, but for the modern world.
I see. Do you have any I'm able to view, or?
Well, to get them out of storage, the thing is I need a bit of a commitment before I can really do much with it. You've got to understand. Now, I'm not asking, of course, for you to commit the whole thing. We'll work on it on the trial basis, because I mean, this way you don't have to worry. I don't have to worry. But if you can, and you said you can handle small contracts yourself, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, sounds very exciting. Again, I might be able to take my own commission. Kind of gets this large grin.
Hey, it's always good. The old man's not going to be around forever, and it's the smart cookies like you that's going to take over.
Yeah, it's true. We got to prepare for the future, or plan to be here for another 100 years.
Exactly, and it's men like us that's going to make it rich. So tell you what, if out of game, I'm not sure how much things are worth.
Yeah, just
by the way,
rough estimate. We don't have necessarily specific finance.
We're thinking Victorian era. So I'm like, tell you what, if you can invest, say, it sounds big, but it's not too bad. Say about $150.
All right, and then we'll do this, and you'll bring over the things for me to see, and then we'll finalize the contract later. This is just a deposit,
Yes.
as it were, just to secure.
Yes, we'll do a bit of a pre-contract, of course, just to show that I'll get a cut of the profits, because obviously, like I said, we got to be in this together. But just so that I'll get a cut of any profits that you have, and just some protections for the both of us. We don't have to sign anything, of course. I'm willing to just do a handshake. That's fine with me.
Oh, that's sounding quite good.
You seem trustworthy enough. I don't think we need to write anything down unless you want to. I'm willing to work with you.
All right. Well, yeah, let me go and check the register real fast, just to make sure I have that kind of money around. I probably should, and we'll get this ready and going.
All right, that sounds good.
So he turns and he walks through the back curtain, and you kind of hear the same thing, the seams, the sewing machine going and all that. And eventually you hear kind of an older man speak up. John, what are you doing, John? And they begin to have a conversation, and the voices kind of start to raise. John, I'm not doing those fucking war staffs again, John. What the fuck do you know about this guy, John? And again, but dad, back and forth. And after a few moments, the curtains reopen, and an older man, probably in his 60s, very worn down hands, wearing kind of a leather apron, kind of stained with wood stain and all that, walks out. So you're the gentleman that's wishing to do business with my establishment, is it? Calvin, I believe my son said.
Here we are, the big man himself. And who might I be speaking?
Well, my name's up on the sign. My name's James Smith.
Oh, good, Mr. Smith. Yes. We were just discussing doing a bit of a trial just to see if it works out for the both of us. Nothing too big, as I don't want to have too much of a risk for either of us. But if you're interested, obviously it's something that we can build into more.
I see.
Basically, I live a bit of the Halo. I don't have a specific business of my own as specifically, but I know what people like.
He
I've
grabs you by the
garnered
shoulder.
information. Yeah.
All right, son. Look, I don't need the bullshit. I just need to know you can supply. Tell me a bit more about these carriage decorations.
Okay. I'm going to lean in and putting a bit of power behind my voice.
Mhm.
I just want to do it's everything you could want.
All right. So this is definitely going to be. What is this? I think this is going to be a hit with all you've got.
Hit with all I got.
The only
Okay.
reason I feel like you might be working to try to get a status over him using your powers a bit more. And because he is leaning in as well, kind of like, okay, you know, let's talk shop a bit more. I don't think he has the facade of concerned business person. So what tags are you going to use to basically completely fulfill your need or want with this gentleman?
Okay. So I'm thinking tricks of the mind as I'm sort of pushing it with my powers a bit. Since I'm trying to negotiate with him, I'm thinking the tempting contract. I am trying to tempt him towards creating a bit of a contract with me over control. And maybe I can. It doesn't all have to be from the mythos. I can mix and match between the. So I'm thinking I'll throw in the charming.
Perfect. And then what kind of status do you want to inflict on him? So this would be a tier 3 status because you would be inflicting 3 power tags.
Okay, I don't know what the statuses are.
So think of status as basically the adjective of whatever condition you are applying to him. So this could be you know, anything from convinced. So it means that he is very convinced, tempted.
I would like to use pliable.
Okay.
And then hit with all I've got, you said?
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. So, you do get still to put on the charm. You also have the option to choose one of those bullet points there. So, you can take cover. It's not like he's doing anything back to you. You can get them good, so adding an additional tier to it, so it would then be a tier 4, which is pretty darn high for an NPC. There's no collateral damage, so this would be maybe the son doesn't see you doing something strange with his father, like there's no witnesses to you doing this kind of thing. You hold the target's attention. I don't think that's really available here because you're not trying to distract him from anything else.
I'm thinking there's no collateral damage. Just no one really saw me like whisper that in the echoey voice.
So as he kind of looks into your eyes and hears this voice, a big grin kind of comes along his face and he nods. Well, that all sounds good to me. He reaches into the pocket of his apron, pulls out 150. So when will we meet again, Calvin?
We'll meet again as soon as I have all of the products put together for you. And I'm looking forward to expanding this. I think we could both be quite rich men.
I think so as well. A new venture. I'm always excited for new things.
And I'll shake his hand and take the money.
He shakes it as well, kind of watches you leave, big smile on his face, turns around. John, you done good, and kind of slaps him on the shoulder.
And I can never come back to this store.
So go ahead and give yourself. Let's see. I'm thinking. I feel like you need a tag for this store because you definitely have taken a bit of control over one of the key players here. So maybe just in your story tags, just put in the name of James Smith and Sons, and that'll just track it in case there's ever a point where you feel like having had this business and still having that status on the owner of it could ever come into effect.
Okay.
The thing with statuses is depending on the type of status, they all have different lengths that they still exist. So for wounds, those are going to heal over time as wounds do. For mental abilities, chances are they're going to stick, especially this kind where you're literally getting into his mind. Only someone that could do the opposite could really kind of relieve a normal person from that. Maybe a mental case against some other kind of rift, they might be able to heal their own mental ability. But yeah, for a standard person, they're not going to know anything's changed, and maybe their family would go and try to help them if they see some kind of change. But again, with this kind of status, it's only unique to you and your character. So
Okay.
I don't see that necessarily changing from now.
Should I set it to a specific number or just leave it as...
story tags are just a 1, so they can add 1 or subtract 1 in the future. But again, right now it's just a story tag to indicate that you have affected that business. The status itself is now noted on my side for the owner of that business. So they're two separate things. You're tracking the story tag, I'm tracking the status.
Okie doke.
All right. So as the day gets late, Calvin, would you want to be there first before everyone gets there, or arrive after everyone has gotten there?
Oh, I show up fashionably late.
So, William and Mike. William, what do you spend your day off doing? It's so early summer break. What are you up to? How are you spending your downtime?
Oh, spending most of the day with the wife, helping clean the house since it hasn't been done in a while, and probably heading to the gym for a little bit. I don't know.
Okay. So you're probably giving attention to what is that? The dojo?
Where is my thing? Yeah.
So as you go to the gym, you have to make your way past a woman probably in her 80s and a younger man probably 50 or so, and they're both talking to the owner of the gym, and as you overhear, they are looking for her husband and his father. He was a regular at this gym and had gone fishing a few nights ago, but he hasn't been seen, and they were checking to see if anyone may have seen him recently. How does that make William feel as he goes past that group?
Both sad and hungry.
All right. What kind of workout do we see then with those two states upon you? Is this like a ravaged, like you're gonna break a dummy kind of thing, or distracted kind of workout?
Probably a very distracted but hard-hitting workout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, throughout kind of the day, you keep seeing yourself kind of reflected in the windows around there, and after they leave, I think the emotions relieve a little bit, but there's still that longing of, I'm very hungry right now, but I also feel bad for what happened. So then you head off to the pit. And Mr. Mike, beyond your
Yes,
normal
sir.
work day, you know, first of all, how does it feel to be back at work after your night in the jail cell and your day off?
Well, it's just another day.
All right. And then beyond your work, are you doing anything else, or are you basically just spending attention on Trash Man?
Yeah, I just need to get the work done today. It's kind of piled up.
All right, that sounds good. Is anybody getting close to leveling up that a theme?
I think I just leveled up the dojo.
Ooh.
So let me double check. I don't think I've leveled up Trash Man at all. No. Getting
So
close.
It had only one left, and then I got full attention on it.
Okay, awesome. So for that, then you get to level it up. So there's a few things you can do. If you flip your card over, it should show the optional improvements that you have. So those would be choose a new power tag, add, remove, or rewrite a weakness tag, choose a theme improvement, reset, fade, or crack. So what are you gonna be selecting?
Where do I see this list?
So you should be able to flip your card over.
Yeah, but there's no list. It's just improvement 1, text, improvement 2, text.
Really? Well, that's odd. Let's see. Okay. Fun. So you can see it in the core book. It's on page 276. But we can go through it real quick. It says, when the attention track of one of your themes is full, reset it and choose one of the following improvements. You may pick the same option again. So those options again, you can either choose a new power tag to add to that theme. You can add an additional weakness tag. If you have to, you could remove, or you can rewrite the weakness tag if you feel it's no longer relevant. An important thing to note after diving a bit deeper into these, what was I going to say? I'm not sure. Anyways, yeah, you can either add, remove, or rewrite a weakness tag. You can choose a theme improvement. So those are going to be based off the theme. So let me open up Dojo, which is routine? No, training. This is training. Training. All right. For your training theme improvements, you have the following options. So you can either get expert advice. Once per scene, you can let another player use a power tag from this theme, providing that tag describes a skill that you can reasonably teach them or could have taught them in advance. You do not need to make the change the game move to do so. Broad training. Once per session, you can create a temporary story tag that reflects a useful method or detail covered by your training within reason. Sense of purpose. Choose and answer a power tag question from the routine, defining event, or mission theme books that describes how you are applying your training today or an outcome of the ways you acquired this training. Write down the answer as a new power tag on this theme. It's showtime. Choose a single power tag from this theme. When you burn it for a hit, you get an automatic result of 9 instead of 7 and a power of 3 for a total unmodified score of 12. Statuses apply to both your automatic result and your power as usual. And
So
getting good at this, choose a core move that best represents the actions you most often use for training for. Whenever you use its tag from this theme, it's dynamite.
I would love to be able to look at these somewhere.
All right, here, let's do this.
Well, the problem is I don't have any kind of
You're good, buddy.
reader.
You're good, buddy. You're good. Here's part of that one.
You're just like, if I have to.
No, I don't have, like,
So that's a training theme improvement.
I never re-downloaded any kind of Adobe thing to read these.
Yep, no worries. Now that I see that this is not available on the sheets, we'll get it added in. Where's my attention? Da-da-da-da.
Like, I have access to the core book, I just don't have anything to read it with. Well, with Google Docs, that's fine. Yeah, sure. Just unable to convert document. Yeah, gee, thanks. That's exactly what I needed. Okay.
So that one. That one. Or that one. Do. And Chris, if you wanted to hop in the game, we're just starting, so you can do that. You're welcome.
Well, yeah, but I might get called to leave at any moment, so
Okay.
I don't want to have to leave in the middle of anything. That wouldn't go so well.
I could find a way. I've done it before. All right, so those bottom four are the ones you can select, and that top one is your optional training themes. I'll separate these out so you can read them a bit better.
I
And
can.
this next week, I will work on copying all of this stuff over to your individual folders because I
So-
didn't know that they...
Expert advice seems like it'd be handy.
So expert advice is once per session you can let another player use a power tag from this theme, provided. Yeah, I definitely. So for your power tags on that theme, you have.
Martial arts, training swords, and a mean right hook.
Okay, so yeah, definitely for some of the characters that don't have a lot of actual combat, I could definitely see that being useful for a middle of the fight. Hey, remember that time we took some boxing lessons? Like, now's the time to use it, kind of deal.
And then I just put that in the improvements on the back.
Yep.
Whoa, card's flipping out. There we go.
Yep, and it doesn't
Improvement
say,
1.
doesn't look like it's requiring you to select a specific tag or anything like that. So it'll just come up when it comes up. Awesome. Well, congrats on being the first to level up your theme.
Yay.
So, William and Mike, you all get there on time, and you begin kind of discussing, what your plan is for that night. You both know that the Cocoa Gate is now closed again. It's only open till 3. The garden's still open. It's gardens. You will know that getting later, probably 9, 10 o'clock at night, they try to keep people out, mostly because they don't want a whole bunch of homeless folks sleeping there. So that might be something to keep in mind. But after about 20 minutes or so of you kind of looking around as a kid, as a doctor, new gentleman appears. A dark-skinned black man wearing a fine suit and walking in with a cane. He seems to know he's in the right place. And Calvin, you look into this strange thing. You enter the pit. First of all, it just smells bad. It's burning garbage. Why would they bring you here? This makes no sense. You're not sure exactly what it is you're going to encounter here, but you see the building. It's pretty much just a shack. It looks like a storage shed off in the back far corner, as far away from the inferno as it can be. There's a donkey and wagon kind of parked on one side. You can see the faint kind of glint of a fireplace burning, and you hear two men kind of having a discussion. You open the door, and you see a younger man kind of dressed in a fairly decent suit. Definitely has, the vest, the overcoat, kind of slicked dark hair, and pretty thin. And then you see another man who's quite large, seems to be about 30 years old, just big-bellied, pretty large beard. He's wearing jean overalls and a flannel shirt. And they both seem to be hunched over the table, looking at their notes. There's a third gentleman off in the corner. He seems to be maybe 19, 20 years old, kind of a Spanish-looking boy. And he's just sitting back there, taking notes in a notepad. He kind of sees you and kind of gives you a head nod and goes down. You see him kind of put like a check mark.
Okay. I would give him a big smile in return, and a little, not, I don't have a hat, but a little thing from my head, and I guess I'll walk in. Yeah.
So yeah, Mike and William, someone has just arrived and made his way into your building.
My oh my, what sort of disreputable people have I found myself among?
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, no!
It's time.
Hi, Thomas.
Go away, Thomas. We just started.
You all finish your little RPing and then we'll go there.
Oh, Lord. Why?
Just with my foot, I'll kick a chair out.
Well, thank you there, boy. I'll sit down.
Can we help you?
I do appear to have been summoned here, according to an agreement with a particular organization.
I'll pull the letter out of my my jacket and I'll set it on the table. Does it have to do anything with that wax seal there?
I'll pull my telegram out. It looks like we are probably working for the same absolutely wonderful people.
It appears so.
Well, isn't that just lovely? And did they conscript you as well, or are you here on a volunteer base?
Little column A, little column B.
I see. Well, good to know. Good to know. And do you know of let's see, I don't really know what's going on. I was told to show up, and that's about all the information I have. What is happening?
So Frederic approaches and he has a small leather kind of a folder, probably about that big. You must be Calvin Sweete. My name is Frederic. Welcome.
I certainly am. Nice to meet you.
You as well. Welcome to the Reaper Soldiers. This here is your badge. Don't use it when you don't need to, but it should be able to get you in places that you haven't had before. Mike, William, well, make sure to use him for all you can. He has been... well, he could be quite useful for us. Anyways, I'll go back to my seat now. Gentlemen, I believe you're discussing where you were going to go.
Oh,
Back
yes.
to your
Thank you,
corner.
Frederic.
Real quick, Calvin, can you roll me a d30?
Choo-choo. A 1. Wow. Starting the night off good.
Sounds good. Continue on.
Oh, Lord. Something dark and sinister just happened.
We shall find out.
After
Next
these
time.
messages from our sponsor.
On this episode of Dragon Ball Z.
So what y'all up to that I've been hauled in for my special skill?
We appear to have come to a dead end in the case of a missing boy, Hans Bexley.
A missing boy. I've been brought in for this. Just lovely.
You, you, you play the hand that's dealt.
Oh, well, sometimes I play different hand. Whatever makes me win. Very well. So we're looking for a boy. What leads do we have? Where are we going?
I'm assuming this background is like an actual pegboard we have somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay, so I can actually see it physically.
Yeah. It'd be
now
on
that
the.
you're here, you'd see it somewhere. It may not be a pegboard, but they have this information.
Yeah, it'll be like notes somewhere. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay.
Something Frederick's probably written down and made copies of because he's a good person.
Thank you. So are you, William. So are you. Very kind. I will make sure to make note that you think I'm good. I believe the Order would be quite interested to hear that.
Quiet you.
So Calvin, as you begin to study, you notice that a particular drink is resting on the top of the fireplace. A drink that either is very specific that you might find rare to get, or something from your past that you may not have seen for a while. What is it that we see up there?
Oh, it's a drink specific to me. This is going to sound really weird. In the bottle will be rum with a slight amount of gunpowder mixed in.
He's a pirate. Got it.
So there's definitely kind of a thick round bottle with that light brown rum in it. It has a cork that doesn't look like it's been pulled out before. Frederick kind of notices and, oh yes, I apologize. I should have supplied this to you as well. And goes and grabs it and brings over a glass. Everyone else seems to have their own vice. I believe, William, you're a cigar smoker.
Yes.
And Mike is just consuming some kind of whiskey or something
Porn.
out of a flask or something.
Don't worry about it.
He's just reading. He's just reading his naughty magazines.
Yeah, I will definitely pour myself a very large glass. No rocks needed.
So yeah, after looking over the notes, basically where the leads currently sit is that this boy, Hans Bexley, he's from a wealthy family who have offered a reward to the Order to find him. Police seem to have not come up with any leads, so they've investigated a little bit. They have found out that Hans has a bit of an opium problem, had a meeting or was planning on meeting someone in the Broadview Gardens for something, and had stolen about $20,000 worth of items from his parents' house before he went off to meet whoever he was meeting in the gardens. Through investigations of the inspector's notes, they were able to determine the inspector has found the location of the assumed drug dealer and the name of the assumed drug dealer named Dominic. It seems that Dominic has regularly been at the Cocoa Gate. However, the inspector did not have visual identification as to who this guy might be. Luckily, the barista provided this information to William last week, so they all have an idea of who this gentleman might be, and that he seems to, again, be at the Cocoa Gate fairly often. As far as the gardens, not a lot has been investigated, so it's not clear beyond the fact that no one that seemed to be drug dealers or gangsters or criminals showed up on a Wednesday. Beyond that, not a lot has really been looked into.
Okay. So where are y'all thinking of heading to now?
The park, as the coffee shop is closed.
Right.
I
mean, the coffee shop's legitimately closed. Yes. whether it's closed to us, I don't know how y'all roll.
I can't nail
I
down this
don't-
accent.
I don't think the
Can't
drug
be the
dealer's
point.
gonna be there after business hours.
Since when do drug dealers have business hours? Ken,
He
I'm
was-
sorry. This is glorious. I love it.
He was
Thank you.
there when the barista was there. So,
And he left
He's not
afterwards,
gonna-
but that doesn't mean he doesn't
Exactly.
come back.
and where do you think he might be? The park around the corner and down the way a little bit?
Maybe he went home for a siesta. I don't know.
Now
didn't-
this barista place, what was the interest in this place that we were looking at? What was with the boy at the place? Was this where these drugs were apparently taking place? Would there be people there at night, maybe doing some tallying?
Looking at the notes. He spent an awful amount of time there, and we assumed that's where he got the drugs. And after questioning a few people, we learned at
You
least
beat him up.
I did no such thing. I had words with the gentleman.
Oh, so you are already well known in around that area. See,
From what I've heard, all of us are well known around that area now.
As
Maybe
long as
not
the
me.
barista's not there, I'm good to go.
Mm. The inspector that you tackled to the ground.
Yeah, but I was dirty at that point. Or no, well,
You're always
no,
dirty.
no, I was clean cut at that point.
Being
So
clean or
he
dirty
wouldn't-
doesn't change your appearance that much.
I know, but he was clearly distracted last
You
time,
are
so
a
he might not notice.
linebacker in a sea of, I don't know,
Okay,
point
fair
guards.
enough.
I mean, I will follow along wherever you think that this place we should check out, whether it's the gardens or the parks or what. But I'm just saying, after hours, people tend to be a little more themselves.
Well, it couldn't hurt to try.
I'm just tagging along for now till I find my spot. See, lead on, gentlemen. You got the reins on this one.
Jameson. Yeah, let's go talk to Jameson and see how things are going. Let's see if he's there. And
Alright.
then, if that doesn't pan out, we can go back to the park.
Sounds good. So you all begin to head off to the Cocoa Gate and that square. As you begin to make your way out of the pit, I need all three of you to roll a face danger as a wagon comes careening down the street and hits a very large puddle of mud, threatening to cover you all with a thick coat of lovely rainy mud.
Don't worry, I'm gonna use the kids as a shield. Actually, I have super speed. Yeah. And that's about
Yeah, William, you're using super speed to get out of the way, protect yourself
it.
from
Yeah.
dirty clothes.
Is that a face danger?
It is going to be a face danger.
Can I actually get it? Protection. It sounds going to sound kind of odd. Can I invoke the lowest spirits as they're coming in to see if the spirits sort of help redirect some of the mud away from me?
Okay.
There's quite a few dead people in the pit.
True.
Just saying.
That is true. Yeah. I mean, I guess you. Sure, a ghostly grasp of blockage. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
What?
That's about the only tag I could think.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm screwed. I'm covered in mud.
This was face danger, yeah.
That's correct, yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Gee, yeah.
So,
Mike. Oh, well, fuck you
Dude,
guys.
I live in this place. Like, I saw that coming a mile away.
So Mike, you kind of look over at this new gentleman, and it seems that he's able to almost read the pattern of mud, the wave pattern of mud, and just kind of step between it for it to just go around him completely. William, you actually can see some kind of figure form and almost shield Calvin from the blast of mud and kind of separate around him. Mike, I'm not sure how you avoid it. Chances are you don't avoid it. It's not gonna make you that much more dirty. It's like, whatever. I'm already here.
No, I knew the wagon was coming down. The sound of a wagon out of control is nothing new to me.
All right, so Mr. William, yeah, I'm gonna have to give you. It's gonna be a caked in mud status, tier 2 status, as you just get hit with the brunt of it, and it hits you in the chest and just spreads up, and so the bottom half of your neck is just kind of dripping with just wet, dark brown water. A bit of it kind of went up your nose, so you got that, burning nose kind of feeling, and it just smells awful, like old ground, and the air around from the pit just soaking into it. You're just a big mess.
I'm gonna pull a small white handkerchief out of my pocket and just sort of like casually hand it to him at a distance and just be like, boy, you've got a lot of potential.
I'm just gonna kind of shake a bit and then take the handkerchief.
Sounds good.
Thank you. It's
You can keep it.
Alrighty then. So,
What's next, Ace?
yeah, give me a quick second here.
battle map.
Oh yeah, don't you worry, my friends.
Yay,
Move
battle
some
map.
things around.
Yeah,
Alright,
I
let's
shift
give
things
you
up.
a bit of a drag there. Oh, it's not as pretty as yours, Ked, because I'm all about the hand drawn over here. That's what we get.
Mine
Oh,
is
yeah.
hand drawn.
Well,
Sort of.
yes, mine is not.
With a
well.
mouse.
All right, so let's get some peoples out here. We got. Why did that go there? Calvin, you're in the wrong place. Get out of there. It's a bad place.
Calvin. It's illegal.
All right, there's a Calvin. There's a Mike.
That happened last night on No
And
Man's
there's a William.
Sky to me.
All right, so you all arrive. It's probably about 7 o'clock, and you get down to where the Cocoa Gate is. You've noticed that for the most part the square started to empty, but as it's summertime, daylight will still be here for a few more hours. There's a few families that are still playing around the fountain. There are a few dogs, running around in the little park garden area. Definitely not as busy as it once was. The Cocoa Gate itself, the doors seem to be closed and locked away. There's no light coming inside. All the tables have been cleaned off. All the chairs kind of pulled off to the side and put to the corner of the building. Yeah, you've arrived. What would you like to do?
Well,
Should
while
we-
we're on the way there, if I could have just motioned my companions to halt for a moment and just be like, just one moment. I just need to maybe pretty myself up so I'm not as recognizable in case things go south. And then I'm going to step a little bit in the alleyway so that no one else can see me, and I'm going to make myself appear like an older gentleman, white skin, white hair.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a change the game. You're using your abilities to give yourself an advantage. So you're going to roll plus power. And this is going to create juice. So basically updating the story tag. So the story tag you'd basically be creating is old white man or whatever, kind of disguise.
Old white man.
So obviously illusory appearance would apply to that. And I guess tricks of the mind and control the dice.
Yeah, I like it.
And this is a change the game.
Correct. Yep. Perfect. So with that, you have 3 juice to use. You have all of those bullet points you can do. So first is going to be creating a story tag. You can also create a status. So the status you can give yourself is like a disguised 3 if you want. That would use all 3 of your juice, but it would give you that status. You can split it up to do a level 2 or a level 1 status as well. There's no power tags necessarily you need to burn, but if you wanted to, you could.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hide the effect. So if you're trying to hide it from your companions so that they don't see you do this, okay?
Nope, I'm fine with them seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't really know what the difference of doing the different things are. So I guess I'll just put it as a 3 status.
Yeah, a story tag again is going to be something specific to kind of this scene. Like it's not ongoing. So it'd be more relevant for if you're equipping yourself with a new item or you're lighting something on fire. So yeah, I don't think that works here. A status, again, is a condition of a person, place, or thing. So yeah, tier 3, disguised status or something like that would be perfect.
Okie dokie.
All right, and I'm going to mark that down as well. So yeah, both Mike and William, as you kind of get closer, do you all stop before you get to the square, or where do you kind of, I assume you all came on some kind of, wagon, omnibus, something like that. So where do you kind of hop off before you approach the building?
Probably a stop before.
Okay.
There's probably and then we just kind of walk, and so it wouldn't be that far.
Nope.
Just say you're kind of over here on the edge.
Yeah,
of the
just
square.
on the periphery. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So again, I'm gonna say for this one, what kind of story tags do we have?
I'm very confused about the white guy who used to be black.
Michael Jackson did it.
But he had help.
Yeah, I think for this, we're going to add a end of day. Let's see, how do I want to word this? We're going to do a fewer eyes story tag. So normally this place is hustling and bustling, but there's not as many.
And that's just a story tag 1?
So it's just a story tag, so it's not a status. So yeah, it is only 1. Again, fewer eyes isn't always a good thing. You never know. So yeah, it can work. You can use that on your rolls if it's actually relevant. It can be used against you on your rolls if, again, it's relevant. So yeah, story tags are basically a description of a scene, or an item or a specific thing that affects the story, but is fairly temporary. And again, statuses are more a condition. So
is there a place this is written that we can see it? Just so we remember.
You write your own story tags.
Yeah, so you can either put it on a status card or up on your character card. There's a place to write story tags.
Oh, okay, I see.
Instead of the status,
I
you
see.
can
Story
click.
tag.
Yeah.
Okay, so fewer. Got it.
You do hear that there's, like a violinist kind of out in the square. The square coven, you're probably familiar with it. It's the large square that's kind of between all the residential districts. It has a big statue of some kind of war general nondescript with 4 lions around it, 2 large fountains, and a few patches of these green kind of garden-like areas with a variety of flowers and bushes kind of in them. During the day, this is where families kind of come to play in the fountains, play with their dogs. There's quite a few small businesses, food vendors, all of that kind of come here. So it's kind of a recreational place for a mixture of social classes. But with that being said, you guys have arrived, so what is the plan?
Well, that looks like the business.
Yeah, so looking down the street, you see the corner of the Cocoa Gate. It says it, up above the door. It has 2 white columns with like ivory kind of twirling around it. 2 large white doors that have been shut with 4-pane windows inset in them. Quite a few windows on either side, and it's again on the corner of a building, so a lot of light is filling in, but not a lot of light is coming out of the building.
All right. Oh wait, comrades, let us go look and see what we can see in new building, huh?
You're going to kill me.
You're not gonna know what his real accent is.
I want to know what happened to the black guy that now looks like a white guy that looks like my father. What is going on here?
Just good at disguise, yeah?
Awesome.
Let's go check building, see what people around building, huh?
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go over here to this fountain.
Okay.
I'm nothing but a harmless old man.
I'm gonna clean up a bit at the fountain. Because I'm covered in mud.
Okay.
And
Go ahead and change the game. I think this might just be a straight roll because I don't know if you have any. I don't know. Do you have any power tags that show how good you are at cleaning yourself?
Good with a sponge.
I have Indomitable. No, I don't. But I'm gonna change the game anyways. Yeah. Well,
Oh my.
it got worse.
Did you just fail at bathing yourself?
I turned into Mike.
He walked up to the fountain
I just jumped in.
and just
It's
tripped
okay.
straight in. And of course, that mud does not come off with just water.
So as you begin to bathe yourself, the mud is just very, very thick. It just really doesn't seem like it wants to come off. And as you look over, you see a reflection of someone else kind of approaching you. The inspector kind of comes up and takes a look at you. Hey, you doing okay there, son? You seem to have fallen down the wrong way.
I swear, Drink, it was only one officer.
Ah, I see. You on your way home then?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, home, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where is it you live?
Over there at the school. It's summer vacation.
The school. Which school do you speak of?
The one in the blue collar district.
Can I start approaching?
Absolutely. Yeah, they're having a conversation. The blue collar
what?
district.
Did we ever give the school a name? I don't think we ever gave the school a
Spring
name.
Hill Charter Academy.
Yeah, that's it.
With
That
Dean
one.
Dean.
Yeah, Dean.
Does he look like an official inspector, or is he just like a guy that happens to?
He looks just like a guy. He has the stereotypical look of a detective, but no identifiable emblems or insignia. You do see a revolver on his hip, however.
Shit. You told me your name and I didn't write it down. Well, Spoon, what's your character's name again?
William Harvard.
William, that's right. I had
Like-
Phazon's down, but for some reason I just had a question mark.
I don't think I actually introduced myself. We're just like, yeah, let's go.
Well, we went through like just basically like, yeah, we all introduced ourselves and we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll approach and I'll be like, hello.
He's my father. He's okay. He'll take me home.
Ah,
What have I told you about being drunk in public? Again, I go up and I'm gonna cuff him hard across the back of the head.
okay.
I'll fall into the fountain.
The inspector kind of looks at this and grins. All right, seems you have him under control. I recommend you get him home, maybe a nice warm bath and a bit of a, I don't know, stiff slap in the face. Yes, it's a Thursday. What's your boy doing drinking so much on a Thursday night?
Being useless, that's what.
Not a problem.
But Dad, it's okay. It's spring break or summer break. Yeah, summer break.
Biggest disappointment. Not hard work like grandfather. He knew what work was. You spoiled.
Grandfather pulled a plow.
You see him kind of shake his head and go over and kind of scoots down the bench a little bit, pulls out a notepad and just begins kind of writing. Every once in a while just look to see what you guys are doing, but he just goes back to taking notes of some sort. Every once in a while just kind of scratch his mustache and look up into the stars. Go back, keep writing.
I whispered at Galvin, I too am good with disguises.
Good to something, that's good.
I flailed around in the fountain a bit.
Get out of water. Let's go find.
That's enough. Out of the fountain. Take your boy home, all right? Just get him
Okay,
out of here.
let's go. Out of water. Did you pee in it? Get out of water.
It was always that color.
And like I'm gonna like drag him towards like the cafe direction.
Okay.
Come. We clean you up by building when we leave.
So
Okay, Dad.
while that's happening, Mike, what are you up to?
Well, I need to find a way around where the inspector will not see me.
Yeah.
But you are around.
That's why he would see
That's
you.
a different story.
Sumo ninja.
Exactly.
Beverly Hills Ninja, activate.
Well, he's pretty distracted by us at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
I'm
where
pretty
are you trying to
distracted.
get to would be my question.
Well, we were headed probably towards the more backside of the Cocoa Gate, so
I would just.
Okay.
Yeah.
like over there.
Okay. So I'm going to say if you're trying to get over there completely unnoticed, I'm going to have you sneak around, but I will give you a bonus of +1 because of their distraction over there.
Over there.
Okay.
The power of nincompoops.
Mm-hmm. The drunken crazies.
Yeah, I don't think I have any tags that would help.
I'm gonna be at this table.
Sneak around.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Their distraction
alright.
is great. They're splashing and, slapping
The
and a bunch
piss in the water
it's-
comment
yeah.
really got him glaring at him.
He's like, has no idea what's just happening. But yeah, you're
I
able
just
to
walk right across.
get over to the other side of the building. So yeah, as you all approach, you can see inside based off of the few kind of gas lamps that are around. Everything's put away, kind of locked up tight. The tables are all cleaned off. It looks like all the machinery, steamers, everything in there seems to be turned off. Yeah, it looks like it's just locked up and closed for the night.
Well, I'm berating my good-for-nothing son here and looking through the windows. Do I see any signs of movement around? Is there any like late night people doing anything inside?
Yeah, let's do a quick investigate of this location to dive a bit deeper into it.
Oh, I should probably write down Ked's name.
And so you're
let's
looking
see.
both kind of inside the building, but also the surrounding area, just to get a read of who's actually around, who's hanging around, that kind of thing.
I'm just gonna do a straight up investigate. I don't see any. I have any tags that would probably work.
Is anyone trying to help him do that?
I don't have help or hurt points.
Well, if you're gonna help him, I'll give you all at least one to help or hurt this session until we can get that set up. I would
Go for it,
say,
Spoon.
William, you probably have the easier option to help him look around if you discuss what you're doing beforehand.
Yeah, I'd probably help him.
Okay.
Look
So
in the windows and like.
So I had one.
yeah, add a 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would have question you're trying to get a read on who is here. What would be your specific question then?
Okay. Does it look like there's any late night activities going on from the store?
No, it doesn't look like there's anyone in the store. The store is closed off.
Okay.
You do hear voices coming from the alley that's kind of back behind the store. And other than a few people just walking past the streets, it seems you three are the only ones that are kind of in this current location.
Okay. We might as well do like I think Mike was doing sort of a circle around the building.
Yeah, Mike, what are
So-
you're over on that side. What are you up to? You can see there's the windows, few tables kind of up again. There's a table up in the corner that if William would have told you would have been the table Dominic sat at. And then you also hear the voices coming from the alleyway in the back.
Well, I'm gonna start strolling towards the alleyway.
Okay. As you get to the edge, you look down and you see 3 figures kind of standing around a barrel fire. They all look to be homeless gentlemen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
I'm gonna-
fairly tall and thick one. There's a shorter, kind of weaselly one, and one that just looks kind of average.
I'm gonna motion for William to come over to me.
Okay. Do you
I might as well follow along as well then.
All right. William, you get to the edge. You look down. You see the 3 men that you had encountered a few days ago with Levi. They haven't noticed you all yet. They're all kind of sharing a single bottle of something kind of around the fire, just having a conversation about how horrible their lives are.
Might I see this as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you see three homeless gentlemen around a barrel fire.
I know these 3. They're troublemakers. They're tried to rob my friend.
Yeah, but sometimes troublemakers, they have best information, huh? Should we go talk troublemaker?
Yeah, we can have a conversation with them.
Do I still have the rum bottle with me?
Would you have taken it with you? to come here?
If it still had anything in it, for sure.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead and
Yeah,
get a story tag of whatever you call it, gumshoe
Okay.
rum.
Powder rum. Okie doke. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out the bottle and not stumbling, but like not sure of myself, just sort of wander up to them.
Yeah, as you get about halfway up the alley, the small one kind of looks up. Guys, we got someone coming down. All three of them kind of turn. Hey, who are you? What do you want? Why are you coming down in our...
I don't even know what I want anymore. Fucking city's eating me alive, let me tell you.
The small one kind of nudges the big one, and big guy starts kind of coming over. Hey, big fella, you need help out of here?
Out of the city?
Oh,
What?
What
What
you
are you
seem to be
talking
lost.
about?
You trying to find your way home?
Oh, I don't even know what I'm trying to find anymore.
Oh, come over, talk to us. Let us know what you're looking for. And he goes to put his arm around you.
That's good. There's a couple of guys over there following me, I think. Or I might be just paranoid. I'm not too sure.
He turns to look. Does he see you two? Are you like still looking down the alley, or have you pulled back to...
Oh, I pulled back around the corner.
Yeah. I'm just listening.
I'm
Okay.
listening in case something sounds like it's going
Trying
crazy.
to hold in some laughter.
He hears that, and he kind of points to the other one. Go check that out. Make sure our new friend is doing okay. Brings you over to the fire. So, looks like you've had yourself a fun night, old one.
Yeah, it was with the freaking rich people. I'm losing my job over something I can't even control. I used to be some nice. I was like a professional tutor. You know what that is, a tutor. To because I don't care. The Bruxley we're looking for. He's a fairly young boy, right?
Yeah.
Like at teens or something.
Yeah, probably 18, 19. He lived in the gated community, so you would know that they have their own kind of private school within their community as well.
Yep, and private tutors.
Exactly.
I was a tutor to some little rich snot, broccoli, whatever, Bruxley, and we don't even know where the hell he went. Now I've luck on and lost my job. If I find that little snot, let me tell you. You know anything about that little... He ran away. Probably found some tart somewhere.
You know, he goes and like pulls a bit of drink out and takes a swig. All those kids from behind that wall, they're a bunch of just stuck up little shits, you know. They come around this coffee house all the time with their frickin' fancy suits and their boxes of shit and just spit on the rest of us. I can't believe you had to put up with a little shit like that. You know,
Preaching to the choir, brother.
The Weasley one kind of comes up. You know, you seem to be well adventured, old one. What is it you know of this rich kid? You know, I've seen quite a few individuals hanging around this place looking for some rich kid. Now you come around as well.
Looking for him? Well, I don't know if I'm looking for him. I might give him a right beating if I find him.
You know,
I don't know if I'm looking for him. Looking to get my job back. That's what I know.
To be honest, it's not that kid. It's his little fucking friend. If I could just wring the ears off that little brat. Always walking by, laughing at us down here with his stupid drugs and all of that shit. If I could just wring his neck if I could.
I'm getting tired of these little shits. Where's his friend? What's his friend's name?
So as they're having a conversation, William and Mike, you guys hear footsteps kind of approaching the corner of this third guy.
Okay, I second that, Smooth.
Jesus Christ!
Uh,
The shadow begins to get kind of smaller as the person seems to be getting closer to the edge of the street.
Jesus shit. What was somebody came in? What was the somebody's coming up around the corner or something?
You can see someone's walking up towards the corner.
I know what I'm gonna do.
What's that?
I'm gonna round the corner down into the alley, and I'm gonna point at Calvin and be like, "You old man! Hey, you told me you knew where that boy was. Did you lie to me?"
Ah, shit. One of the fucking rich people hiring people on my ass. I told you I was getting followed.
So, yeah, the guy approaching you sees the same man that grabbed him by the back of his neck to make him drop the knife and caused him to near soil his pants, now appear once more like a nightmare, once again pointing his finger down the alleyway, and once again
with a big man in tow.
yelling about someone else that has just entered their alleyway, and he just screams, "Oh shit!" and begins
What is it with everybody in this damn alleyway? I want to know where that boy is.
Starts running past the other way. The Weasley one and the big one hear this, and the big one kind of looks down. "Oh fuck, not again. Get behind me, old man." Kind of goes to shield you and reaches back into his side to pull a pistol.
Oh, what's happening? I peed a little.
"You're not coming down here again, you rich piece of shit. Get the fuck out of our home. We told you this once before. You and your fat friend don't scare us anymore. This time," he takes it out and spins it, "it's loaded."
Oh shit.
Oh shit! The plot thickens. I'm going to take 2 steps forward and say, "I want the old man. He has answers that I need. I'm looking for that boy."
Okay. Yeah, you. What's your intention with this? I guess I should ask.
I'm just trying to help him get answers.
Well, it's helping to at least prove that I'm not with you.
That's the
True.
point, yeah.
Okay.
And then he's actually probably just trying to find him because he's a drunk tutor that's angry at the world.
Curmudgeon-y. That's a good word for it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think you walking in is gonna be considered a what do I want to do here? I think it's gonna have to be a take the risk. The risk being you provoking a gunshot.
Yes. So I'm going to use some fancy. I'm gonna use terrifying.
What are weaknesses for again, by the way?
So weaknesses can be
For
invoked by
stilts to screw you
yourself
over.
to gain attention points, basically showing, yes, I have a weakness to learn from, or I can invoke them if I feel they are relevant to the current scene or whatever is playing out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use terrifying. I'm gonna use super speed.
Okay. How are you using super speed to not provoke a gunshot? Basically,
Oh, he hasn't fired yet. That's
he hasn't fired. No, this is he going to fire based off you taking 2 steps into his alley and still yelling at the old man that's now cowering behind him?
Okay.
What's happening?
What's happening? I peed a little. God damn it. So I'm just gonna use I don't know. Would Indomitable work? Nah, maybe.
That would
Not
probably
really.
be to provoke him.
Nah, I'll just use Terrify and just be like, I just want the old man,
So I am going to have to invoke aggressive behavior. I do feel like that part of you definitely is a negative.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
He didn't
What is
get
that?
enough release on that.
Is that face danger? Is what you said?
Take a risk. Right now, you're just taking a risk of walking towards a guy with a gun pointed to you that just showed it was loaded.
Here we go. Nope, I'm dead.
Oh. Oh.
I can't hit a single roll today. It's okay. This is
Oof.
entertaining.
Oof. All right. Yeah. So, gunshot definitely going off, and you're full on missing it too.
Oh, I wish I could. Oh.
Because I don't think you have a chance to face danger with a 4. Okay.
I do want to do something before the gun actually goes off.
I wish I would have used one of my well-fed statuses. Well, no, that would have been if I get shot. Never mind. I'm thinking ahead for no reason.
Okay, let's see.
Yay!
So
Plot
you want to?
points.
So I don't think you're going to be able to get something off before the gun goes off. The gun's going off.
Yeah, I
That's the
can.
risk right here. Wait, but
Astrophysical. I can be right there.
I can be
Basically,
the bullet.
So I'll kind of explain what I was thinking. So I see him taking that step forward, and then I'm gonna project myself right in front of him, but kind of to the side, to basically distract enough, like he'll notice something, like he'll feel the presence, just enough to where, like, hopefully he'll miss his actual gunshot.
okay. So I'll give you this again because he did miss that roll. You have a chance to adjust the flight path of the bullet by slapping the gun. The gun is fired, but you're there with a moment to knock the trajectory of the shot to give him an opportunity to face danger. So
Perfect.
we're gonna say for this one, you are. Oof, yeah, I think this is the order it goes in. So the gunshot's going off, and we have now basically time has stopped, and you're trying to jump through time and space to get yourself over there. I'm gonna have you face danger. The danger being either A, you don't knock it away enough and he's still getting shot, or B, you don't go far enough and you're going to be the one that's shot.
Sounds good.
Why you do this to me, Father?
He's over there just taking another swing.
Just behind him. I don't know what's going on.
I don't want to drop my cover.
Okay.
This is for you.
If you take a bullet, it adds to the realism.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've probably taken
face-
bullets before.
face danger.
Correct. What tags are you using?
Bullet time, astrophysical, and I know kung fu to quickly change the trajectory.
So, because you're trying to save one, I do believe your weakness, save your mentality, is going to come to play here.
Way to go.
Okay. Face danger, right?
Correct.
Looks like I'm getting shot. Which will work out.
Okay. So now we have lots of things. So shit just got a bit crazy here.
Oh, now it's about to get serious.
So
Oh, shit.
here's what happens.
Cat
Yeah,
Jones
Mike-
in the most action packed.
You appear just as a gun goes off, and blat, it goes off into your shoulder, and you take a gunshot wound 3 status.
Ouch.
Ow.
As soon as this gunshot goes off, William, you hear the high-pitched whistle from the inspector that was at the fountain. And within a few moments, you hear a few more whistles coming from other constables that are in the area. Calvin. The big man is just fired to protect you. The even fatter man that you arrived with has just been shot pretty badly. You take a swig of your rum. You read the situation. You can hear the whistles from the constables as well. What would you like to do?
People always screwing things up.
I didn't
Does
try
it look like the guy is he like, did he just fire and he's like, turning to like move away or anything like that? Or does it look like he's still threatening with the gun?
It looks like basically it's right after the gunshot has gone off. That's where we're coming in here. So the gunshot has gone off. You see Mike flinch in pain, and that's where we are now. So it's hard to tell exactly what his next move might be. It definitely looks like he'd be able to put in another round and take a shot if he wanted to.
Okay, so it looks like he's still aggressive. I actually have to help people for once. I don't like helping people. Okay. So I'm gonna go up to the guy. I'm going to touch him.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to do is bringing forth the spirits that are connected to him to help bring about misfortune about him. I'm just basically going to be like, your grandmother wouldn't like you being like this.
All right, and your intention is to disarm him, or?
I just want to give him misfortune to make it harder for him in the future if he were to fire again.
Okay, so it sounds like you're trying to give him a status. So in that case, yeah, this is going to be another hit with all you've got because you've been sneaky and folks aren't. They're trusting this old man. So
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm gonna do misfortune, the lowest spirits, because spirit of grandma's gonna be here, and think control the dice,
Okay.
and it's hit with all you've got, right?
Hit with all you've got, indeed. Oof. Oh boy.
Grandma's pissed.
Grandma ain't happy at all. All right, so yeah, you can choose 2 of the additional bullet points there on top of whatever status you're giving him.
Yeah. Okay.
So the other options there, you hold the target's attention if possible. That would basically be he no longer is focusing on the 2 down there, like his attention is pulled directly to you. You gain the upper hand with juice. I would say that has to do with the fact that you've just summoned the spirits, so now they're there to basically grant you additional possibilities or options.
I can choose 2. So what I'm going to do is I can choose the status that I give him as well.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
So I'm going to say that he's shaken.
Okay.
And then I want to hold his attention, and I'll gain the upper hand.
Awesome. So you take 1 juice to use with the spirits are here. All right. So I'm gonna get.
Where do I put the thing for juice?
So that's going to be on your character card as well. One of those options will be juice on the top right corner. I'm not sure which icon it is, but
Probably the battery.
yeah, the battery should be there. So you just click that, click 1, and then just whatever spirits are here. All right. So he turns around to you, kind of looking in your eye. Let's see. Yeah, I say as this happens, we kind of replay the scene. William steps in, calls out to the old man. Shot goes off. Mike appears, gets shot in the shoulder. The old man reaches out and grabs the biggin, whispers something into his ear. The biggin kind of not drops a gun, but drops it to his side and turns around to look down at you. And let's take a quick 5-minute break and come back to see what our next moves will be.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.